Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. I want to talk to you about two fundamental words that have been destructive and that have also been beneficial in the lives of many people. And those two words are personality versus character. And in this specific sense, we're talking good and or godly character, godly and or good character. Now, personality, a lot of people sometimes when you hear them speak, or some people when you hear them speak, when they're really talking about character, they use the word personality, not understanding that personality is really a trait. For example, if somebody's talkative versus if somebody's more, they're less talkative. They're not as openly communicative verbally as some people are. Personalities, for example, some people who are very flamboyant in the way they dress because of their big personality. They are very outspoken, they're very outgoing, they are very people-centric, people-oriented, while you do have some who are more introverted. So they're less talkative, they're more thinkers. Not to say that extroverted people are not thinkers, but they are thinkers. And they're thinkers, and with that, and they are not only just thinkers, but they do maybe better in terms of writing. They're more subdued in a lot of things. They're not as flamboyant in their dress code. They're not as outgoing. They prefer to be loners, and these things. So that is personality. So it's more of a trait of who they are, talkative versus not talkative. Now, character speaks to a way of life daily, how they treat people, how they value God, how they honor God on a daily basis. It doesn't mean that if you see somebody like a Mother Teresa or the late and great Martin Luther King Jr. or his father Martin Luther King Sr. do something that is unseeming, do something that is wrong, it doesn't mean that they are not of a good or a godly character. We're talking about consistency, consistency. Generally, when you encounter them, their attitude towards people are the same. Their behavior towards people are the same. Their actions towards people are the same. Are they meek? Are they humble? Are they mild? Are they decorous? They talk to people with respect. They're respectful. These are the things that we're talking about. They speak well of other people to them or behind. They're truthful. They're not filled with guile. They don't lie. And again, it doesn't mean that they're perfect. I want people to understand what I'm talking about. If you call somebody a liar or a kleptomaniac, it means that it's a consistent way of life that they are living for you to know. Then make that judgment call on the basis of facts that this person is a liar or this person is a kleptomaniac. Somebody who just steals as though they can't help themselves but to steal. All right? So the problem, though, that we have had with people in life is that they have lost out on beneficial relationships, be it romantic, be it business, or just a regular platonic friendship, because they have used personality to be the benchmark of character, So it has been, they've used that as a measuring stick, the personality. So if you see somebody with a very flamboyant and loud, when I say loud, I don't mean vulgar or boisterous. I'm talking about very bold, courageous type personality. They're talkative. They're very people oriented. They're very outgoing. They love bicycle riding. They love training. They like getting people in their spaces. They like hosting parties. I'm just calling on different things, based on their personality. They're based on their trait. We assume that something is wrong with that character, the character of the individual, not understanding that even though you see them with that big and humongous type personality, that they could be people who are meek and mild. And when we say mild, I don't mean, that they are subdued. We're talking about humility. We're talking about when the Bible says poor in spirit, in terms of being humble in your heart, in your soul, in terms of they're respectful when they're dealing with people. They're truthful. We're talking about them being decorous, filled with integrity, They don't gossip. They don't malign other people's character. They don't speak negatively about people behind them back. And we're not talking about if you're seeking counsel, and you're having an issue with somebody and you realize that something needs to be had, that you're having a convo. Don't mean like that. We're talking about it is coming from a vile place. It is coming out of guile. You're not filled with guile. And so what has happened is that people with and I use the people with the bold personality, the very courageous, the very flamboyant personality, the extrovert, that people oftentimes misread it for bad character. So oftentimes they misread the personality for bad character. So because a person seems very bold and out there, you often hear they're not good, they're this, and they're false, and they're fake, and they're trying to look likes, and you hear all the negative vitriol and rancor that is now surrounding them and their character, and not understanding that if they were to now delve a little bit deeper into the sea, into the river, into the pool, into the ocean, they will see all the wonderful things that are there. So then if they had decided, let me see if I can get to know this individual. Oh my God, this individual is kind-hearted. Oh gosh, this individual will have my back in difficult times. This individual will provide if I should go and ask for help several times. This individual will have a sense of loyalty and devotion to me. This individual is loving. This individual is actually humble. My goodness, this individual is a good person, a godly person overall. Yes, and you begin to say that, wow, but this person has good character. Even though they're flamboyant, they're talkative, they're outspoken, they're very people-oriented, they're outgoing, they love the movies, they love the limelight, they love the big and the humongous in a good way, but they're somebody of integrity. They are not only for themselves, they will help others. And the flip side is that you can find somebody with a more introverted personality, and people make the assumption that because they're seemingly quiet, that it is indicative of humility and of a good character, and they could be, as the saying goes, snakes that are under the grass looking somebody to devour. I remember somebody was telling me of a girl that she went to school with right here in Jamaica, the country, and not an old woman. She's older than I am, but not an old woman, if you understand. And she said she never forgot there was a quiet girl in the school, had money but quiet, and there was a poor girl, pretty and poor, and the quiet girl, she hardly hear that girl speak. One day she saw the quiet girl speaking to somebody, and she was so affrighted, and curiosity got the better of her, and she had to go, and it's a good thing. And she said, but I've never seen, for example, the woman name is Jane Doe. I've never seen Jane Doe talking. What did she say to you? She was very inquisitive. She said, would you believe that the poor pretty girl, that she said she basically is jealous of her, and she's going to bring an apple with gramazone in it to poison her. She said, what? No, people, it's not a movie, right here in Jamaica. She said next day came, because she glad she went, and the girl she saw, when the quiet girl offered the girl the apple in a loving, pretentious, loving way, and the time for break came, and she went with the girl, the curious one went with the girl to wash the apple, and as she's washing the apple, she said, do not eat it. She said, why? She said, do not eat it. She got firm, and she said, why? And she said, do not, we're going to the principal's office with it. And when they went and she told the principal the whole story, the girl was shocked. And the reality is that a lot of people assume that people with the introverted and quiet, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all people are introverted or evil, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying to you that personality is not indicative of a good character, of a godly character. And a good person is not indicative. Good character is synonymous in a sense to godly character, but it's different. And I will do another video on both of them. Because something can be seemingly good, but it is not godly. Beautiful people, many relationships could have been had, and your lives could have been living longer. You could be wealthy. You could just be happy, joyous, had you decided to give the bold personality a chance. Had you decided to befriend the bold personality, date the bold personality, you'd have been in good standing, and many of you have taken on people, and it was actually a misfit in that puzzle, the so-called withdrawn type personality, and it was a misfit, and you end up learning when it is, sorry, too late. Personality is different from character. You have to know the differences. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.